See, still, I guess, somewhat the most popular matchup, or like most entertaining. There's always like a ton of action. I think.
I mean, it depends. There's like a very turtley, like planetary fortress ghost style now that is like making CBT fall out of favor a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the thing is just there are situations where the Terran realizes, okay, they can't win with their push or whatever, or sometimes they just decide, okay, they have an advantage now, so they just run away with it into the late game, and in the late game they trade out better. I feel like on Data C specifically, it's less likely to happen because the map is very large. The corner bases are very hard to defend. Yeah, so I think we won't really reach a map split situation because in that situation, Reynor would have more bases to mine from.
Yeah, like you can take that one extra base pretty easily on this map, and then it doesn't really work.
Exactly, and you're really spread out as Terran, even if you were to defend like the the top left, for example, like it would be really hard to defend your main then.
Yeah,
so
they were probably not going to see that, and also just by nature, I guess ByuN and Reynor are both relatively aggressive players, so hopefully you're going to be spared from that.
Yeah, as I said, definitely, I think it's unlikely on this map. I'm curious what other map we have, probably. I'm not sure, I think Reynor doesn't like Waterfall too much, so it might be Inside and Out, but yeah, we'll see.
What did you guys think of Reynor's Zerg vs Terran recently when he played against Clem?
Oh, that was rough. The most recent series, at least the most recent big one, was in DreamHack Regionals in the finals.
Yeah.
And Reynor went up, I think, 3-1 and lost the last 3 maps. So Clem did a big sweep, and the games were really close. So there, like, Reynor's ZVT is at the top for sure. There is no doubting it. But
so here's already a little bit of a deviation from the total standard, right? ByuN decided to go 2 Rex. Reynor, I think.
Well, the 2 Rex is probably because he went CC first. I think that is.
Oh yeah, okay. I didn't pay attention
because
to that.
I wouldn't have noticed if both orbitals were morphing at the same time.
Fair point. And Reynor, like, definitely realizes the CC first. He's getting his speed relatively late. Like, there's no urgency there. Getting a 3rd queen, 3rd hatch before starting speed. So it's a pretty good start for Reynor, but there's also like really no way to like stop Zerg from actually scouting.
I'm a little surprised he didn't get the tumor first on the natural, but maybe that is also a reaction. Just that I have no idea why, because I feel like the tumor first is just such standard, and especially without a Reaper, that so free.
But against CC first, because Hellion is out so late anyway, like you can just also get more drones against CC first. So I think it's totally fine.
You probably really want to be greedy. Did you guys catch ByuN against Scarlet? Game 2?
I didn't. I saw a bit of it, yeah.
That was crazy. Proxy hatch into like really back and forth. The most back and forth game I've seen in this tournament so far.
Nice. I always love teammates.
Sorry I spoiled it, but...
Yeah, no, it's all good, it's all good. I always love teammates playing against each other because it can always lead to the craziest games where people know each other really well. And Scarlet is always down to like play the player.
I like that Scarlet mixes in like those cheese and here and there, like, because once upon a time she was known as like a a macro monster that perfectly creep spread, like she had like the best creep spread almost I think out of any Zergs, and then she started really throwing in like a lot of cheese and like proxy hatch and all that. And I think that makes her even more dangerous.
Yeah, she's a very cerebral player and understands the game really well.
Who does she work on this with? Do you know?
I mean, she talks a lot to Lambo.
Yeah.
But Lambo obviously is a bit more of a standard player, but...
Because I remember before, like, Katz had some influence, he gave some builds, even to some Zergs in GSL.
Yeah.
There was also No Regrets, who obviously, his dedicated pressure, still I remembered.
Yeah, dedicated pressure.
Well, designated, right?
Oh, designated?
Yeah, designated.
That makes actually even less sense. That
I think that's the whole point. I think that was the whole point.
Okay.
Yeah, that's... So, ByuN went for a 2-1-1, obviously, but that it obviously hits a bit later with the CC first. Reynor is a really good drone count, and the creep spread is looking pretty good. So, yeah, I think there's nothing to worry about, but...
There's no Banelinks, though. And
yeah, losing a couple of queens is annoying, but I don't feel like you need banelings versus 2-1-1 at all.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's just lings and queens, but losing 2 or... Yeah, I think it was 2 queens right there. That's a bit
ByuN is
annoying.
playing this really aggressively though. Like his worker count is a bit low, like lower than normal even. I think he cut workers a little bit, and I'm a bit worried for Reynor for that second push with like 3 medivacs now. I think it was almost a mistake for ByuN to like lose Marines and trade them against Queens,
for
because
sure.
I think if he just comes with 3 medivacs and like full Marine count, like you have that critical mass where like lings alone don't really do anything anymore.
Yeah, especially Reynor losing a couple more queens, and he built drones behind it, so he's already on 3 base saturation right now. So this is not... ByuN could have dealt a lot more damage here.
Yeah.
Oh, the Widowmine hits the queens, so the Marines actually clean up the lings, and
This is a lot of damage from ByuN here.
that's a really good trade, especially with the really early 3rd CC behind it as well, considering it's a 2-1-1.
Really good micro.
Yeah.
Like pull back when he needed to. Now he's really going on the chase.
This is really bad for Reynor. Losing so many queens, like this is his early backbone, and he lost like almost all of his defensive queens.
Yeah, and they were out for a while. I think hatcheries are pretty much not injected right now, and it's gonna take a while until he gets injects up on all his hatcheries again. I guess he has 1 inject, but that next push could actually be quite deadly. There's gonna be a few banelings out, but obviously ByuN has very good micro, and there's no baneling speed yet, so he might actually do even more damage with this push now.
I think if there was tanks, the push would be really deadly. I think with just a couple of Widow Mines that are slowly trickling out now, I think ByuN can't rely too much on trying to end this game, especially because Reynor is also someone who really survives a lot of stuff. Like
Yeah. Okay, nice catch
slow
there.
banelings.
Killing at 1 SCV.
Yeah, that's not a good trade, obviously.
He's gonna be 1-1 here in a bit against just
Only
+1
Outmark.
carapace, yeah. So no attack at all for Reynor for a long time. Oh, yeah, there we go. Just starts it now.
Yeah, obviously Carapace always the more important upgrade, because obviously banelings are gonna do most of the damage, but it still makes the Marines quite a bit stronger. Like especially at those like situations where a few units are left.
Will the Widowmine connect with anything? Just
That's
one
one thing.
baneling, yeah. Not the biggest deal.
Nice hit over there, getting 11 circlings.
I think we have to counteract a little bit your bias towards ByuN. Maybe just a little bit.
But I mean, it's been pretty amazing play by Shopify Rebellion ByuN so far. So
Don't worry. I got Reynor when things gonna happen. Okay, 2-2 on the way. He already had the armory up very nicely. And we're seeing additional comments there, additional factory. It's already going into Widow Mines. Do you think that maybe Clem style with the Widow Mines kind of inspired other Terrans to also go for that a lot more?
I feel like it switches a lot. So basically, there are times when tanks are more favored, and then there are times again where Widow Mines are more favored. More recently, it's going back into more Widow Mines again. But there was a time where there was a lot of tanks, and even Clem went into a lot of tanks at this time.
Yeah.
So there was the time where Clem didn't do the usual thing of winning tournaments. So yeah, it changes a bit. It's similar to, I think you talked about it yesterday in ZVP as well, where Adept Glaives is more common right now because people lose a bit of practice against it, and I think it's the same with Widow Mines. You aren't as crisp and clean against all the timings with Widow Mines. Nice hits on those banelings, and the drop is being cleaned up entirely.
20 SCVs just died here from those banelings. You want a hug, Tielo?
no, it's all right. It's all right. It's I was predicting that 1-1 score. It's all good.
This is probably Reynor's map pick. There's nothing to worry about. Oh, that's also a pretty big mine hit there on his own Marines.
Yeah, in the most recent series of Clem against Reynor, there was the Widow Mines that were talked about a lot.
Yeah.
That's like one of the key units that
Absolutely.
made him do really well.
Yeah, I think it's really hard because I feel like with Widow Mines, you're more forced to keep up the pressure. And as soon as there is a little bit too much of a gap, you really struggle. Or if you lose like 16 SCVs and you lose just a lot of tempo, I think the Widow Mines are just way more based on tempo. And this looks really rough for ByuN because Reynor's economy is booming. He's going into Hive and Lurkers.
Yeah, I mean, he even lost his CC here, so really this is not gonna be recoverable for ByuN anymore. Lurkers are gonna be out as well. But yeah.
So if it's not recoverable anymore, Maybe we can talk about something else.
What do you
Such
want
as?
to talk about?
I have no idea. I just threw it in the room because usually that's what happens at HomeStory Cup, right?
Yeah.
Like usually we don't even talk too much about the game, even though I'm just interested in the game, so I'm fine talking about it.
It seems like it's not that they're not that far apart army-wise, you know, less than 10 supply difference. But the thing is, pushing on creep is just so hard, and Reynor from there knows to take things slow and then just kind of max out.
Yeah, you're never going to be able to step on creep with this many banelings out. Great
There is
hiding
no
by ByuN,
splash.
but it's going to be an end. You're going to run into a wall, and GG to Reynor.
Nicely played.
Were you almost doing the caster thing, talking?
What's happening here?
Okay.
Carriers.
Laser against Trigger, first game. We're on the same map.
Yeah, it's on Data C, man. Who could have guessed that?
I kept asking for a long game, and here it is, perhaps.
Well,
Okay.
so far it's only 13, 14 minutes, right?
Yeah, but
So-
like you see carriers coming out, you know,
Yeah, for sure, for
he's
sure.
not gonna move across the map and be like, yeah, this is my timing.
That's a
I
lot.
don't, I
That's
don't
a
know
lot
if you believe what Roddy says. +2 carriers, they're pretty good.
There's a lot of Protoss air out for Spire just starting. So
Yeah.
Reynor, I mean, now I'm really getting confused. Laser basically on Rogue Ling against Rogue Ravager against carriers. So this looks actually pretty good for Trigger. A little bit of a baneling run by, barely takes out.
You think
any
so? I think
Protoss.
laser is the perfect counter.
With Roaches?
Yeah.
The perfect unit.
I think you're thinking of Pig right here. Pig believes that's the perfect count.
Did you forget about Mondragon against Cruncher? In TSL? You know about this series?
No.
I think it was Cruncher won against Hydra,
Yeah.
and then Mondragon had to play Cruncher, and he countered literally every unit in the game with roaches. He's like, you want to make Void Race? I'll just flood you with roaches.
Yeah, that sounds.
And then somebody made like a graph where it's like Protoss unit countered by, and it was all the Protoss units, and on the right was Roach every time as an end.
Yeah, well, that sounds like early StarCraft to me. Man.
Yeah, maybe that was a reason Mondragon was not quite as good in StarCraft 2 as in Brood War.
Man, those are some pretty good run bys. That's the issue. If you
Was
have
that still the
carriers,
one
right?
supply Roach? No.
No.
And now we see a couple of corruptors, but
I don't think so, at least. When I see a game like this, I'm like, okay, well, Trigger, clearly, he wants to reach the Golden Armada here.
no, I think Trigger wants to kill Laser right now.
Really?
Yeah,
For
because he has such an... Well, now he sees Corruptor, so he's a little bit scared. But
Yeah.
generally speaking, like, this is the moment Trigger wants to push because, like, he just lost his third and a lot of workers.
But it's so hard to attack. If you attack,
Yeah.
this happens.
Absolutely. Like, it was hard to attack. The Trigger wasn't maxed out. But I think it was his best shot. We'll see how well these carriers do against just a couple of Corruptors left. There's nothing on the ground anymore, only those two Archons for Trigger. What a scrappy fight. And the Laser isn't rich. Like, your real Roaches aren't going to help his carriers.
6 more Corruptors. I guess gas income is like the super important thing here to make
Trigger
sure you get
just
enough.
now starts his Nexus again. So I think he was really committed, really all in, wanted to actually end the game there. But now he's like, this didn't work out. And I think now he's in a bit of trouble, because now Elaser has the room to use his economy to get up a better army than he did previously of mostly Roaches for his carriers.
Is that Salad actually gonna get it?
Oh my god.
That's huge.
Ay, ay, ay.
I don't think it's that huge. It's obviously nice, but like, you know, there's enough bases for Elaser.
Gotta
He's
crit.
only on
Some
77
fun you must be
workers.
at parties, man.
I'm sorry. That's why I'm here, because nobody wanted me downstairs.
Banned to the caster couch. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I wonder if Trigger could have really just played out the fact that Elaser was sitting on Roaches and make him attack into him. Oh, the other game is ready?
I think it's fair
Yeah, we
if
can
we
probably
jump
switch.
into the other.
Yeah, I think this is... We can switch to the other game.
We only
This
care
is
about
one way to
Shopify
lose.
players.
Yeah.
To lose an army, but like,
Trigger is gonna lose this one, we know it. So, we can go to
That's
the other
cold, man.
actually, like, I'm not trying to do the caster thing, but at least Trigger is holding on here with the green battery.
Look at the minimap, bro.
game. I mean, the biggest thing is Trigger is only still on 57 drones. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
There we go.
There we go.
All right, what kind of a start did we have? We had...
Two,
Oh no, that's
Yeah,
Rex
it's
is in the wall, so it's a
Yeah.
2 Reaper opening or
3 Reaper
three-
opening from
yeah.
Maru. Maru introduced that in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
GSL finals versus Ragnarok, where he did like 3 Reaper opening to, be capable of like doing early. Well, that's not great.
Oh,
What are we doing? Why are we jumping back up? You saw the Lings.
Because they can.
Yeah.
He wants to have fun.
How many Lings are there? Oh, are they still there? Especially with the speed now on the way, ByuN needs to be careful. But he's going back with his Reaper, so it's fine.
okay, adding 2 more Rexes. It's gonna be super committed. Trying to go for like, what, a 2 base push?
This is one of the shorter rush distance, right?
Yeah.
From third to third.
It's especially like the shortest rush distance for Reapers. Like,
Because they can jump everywhere.
yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think it's set in stone yet how what ByuN will be doing. But he is on 3 Raxes with 2
Four.
reactors, so that's actually quite a lot. He is very committed there.
Yeah, 4 Rexes even, I think. So I think he's gonna go for like 1-1, like shield stem push. Or is that... Was it only 3 Rexes? I thought oh yeah, there's the shield. So,
Oh, it is 4 Raxes.
yeah, so we're gonna see a push with the combat shield and stem.
It's crazy.
He's gonna try to take out the 3rd base. And then either just end the game or get a big advantage.
This group's kind of wild, by the way. Like there isn't.
There are so many draws, right?
Yeah, there's not that many matches played, but Su is literally 6 in this group right now, and it's like ByuN in first place, Reynor, Scarlet, the Laser, and then Paddymac 5th. Paddymac with Trigger in his opening match. Su in 6th. What the hell is going on?
Is that Su with 3 losses?
Yeah.
yeah,
Su's
three
2 and
three
6 right
maps, 3 maps lost.
Yeah.
No. 3 matches. He's went
what?
0-2 in 3 matches.
No,
Yeah, it's pretty tough. Su came back from the military, right? So.
it's gonna take second.
Oh my God,
okay,
we're pulling
okay,
the
talking
boys.
about committed, I think ByuN is relatively committed to this
Yeah.
push.
For sure.
There's no Baneling nest, so like theoretically, this should work. Like this.
With no bailing
That's
nest,
just
SCVs are
wishful
actually
thinking,
good.
TLO.
No, it's just, analyzing the game.
Choo. That's the only analysis you need. There we go. Combat shield just completed. Perfect. Stims in.
Oh my God, that's so much.
Oh, the Link's coming from behind, actually not that late, but there's so many Marines. SCVs are putting in work at the front. Everything's going down, and Reynor's shaking his head. I think he knows, like, he's
Raider's
big
smiling. Has +1 armor on the way believes it's like the normal quote-unquote 3 racks.
He shouldn't
Yeah.
steam again, probably.
This always feels not like you gotta stim in the last moment here, because if not, you can just kind of bait it out. SCVs should go on the ramp. It gets a little scary once like you've stimmed once and took 1 fight, right? Everything
yeah.
is so low, but I think ByuN stimming now, perfect moments, taking out everything.
Kiting back, Reynor pulling the drones. He knows that even if he loses a lot of them, he just needs to hold here. Can he clean this up? Great kiting by ByuN.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, he's just got the few Marines left. Reynor, supply completely plummeted. He just lost 23 drones. He's trying to buy more time for Lynx to come out. ByuN gets on top of the drones. The kiting and Marine movement was brilliant.
Yeah, for sure.
And he will get cleaned up, but at what cost?
At
guys?
what cost indeed, and there's 10 more Marines at least on the way, so at this point Reynor's not really gonna replenish any more units, and this should be it.
GG.
Another 1-1 in this group.
Yeah.
Man, who would have predicted that?
I mean-
TLO the wise.
I am the swarm. Armies will be shattered. Worlds will burn.